No. Yeah, no. Sorry, I just...
You look like shit.
You know, my therapist told me something.
You see a therapist?
And as I was saying, that we all live multiple lives.
You are talented.
How sick is that? Check that out.
I'm afraid your services are no longer needed.
You care more about test scores than the actual kids themselves.
This chance will never happen again.
I wouldn't go in there if I were you.
You buy me a drink, I'll tell you your future.
Listen to your girlfriend.
She's not my girlfriend, right? So technically, I have to do what she says.
I see the moment this life will end for you.
And Guy, you are gonna be okay. Trust me, I'm a doctor.
And I can tell you when that will be.
I came here, we talked, I went inside, I drank, I met this crazy guy who told me I was gonna die in 3 days. I gotta know if he was real. I gotta find out if it's true at all.
Do the things you've been putting off. Try to be the best man you can be. Next time, wear pants, okay?
You're Mia.
And you're the asshole.
Hey, you wanna have some fun?
Why not?
Today, we're gonna buy everybody in the park ice cream because sometimes you just need free ice cream. The last 2 days have been the best and the worst of my entire life.
I told you not to go in there.
Hey, let me in. Okay, it's a funny joke. Let me in. Funny, real funny. You happy?
Welcome to Rhythm and Roads. I'm your host, Joshua Jacob. We have a very special group. We have the director, Peter Ney. We have executive producers, Parker Clark and Sandy Deerman of 3. Congratulations, guys, on the wins on that, and welcome to Rhythm and Roads.
Thank
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, no problem. And I look forward to hearing your story. But first, I do want to say congratulations because I know at the Las Cruces International Film Festival, you won 2 awards. It was the Audience Choice Award and the Grand Jury Award. So that's really exciting, and congrats on that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
First, I want to ask how you feel about that before we get into it.
I mean, I was surprised.
Were you?
I think
Oh, wow.
Sandy and Parker, I didn't expect it, but it was a lovely surprise. I was like, wow. And we went on stage and I didn't have much prepared. Sandy had something prepared, but I didn't. But I was surprised, but pleasantly surprised.
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad. I mean, I'm glad that it worked out. You got 2 awards. I mean, that's still good. Like, oh my God, better than 1.
We were not expecting that at all. I don't think. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and to bring it back to Las Cruces, where we filmed it,
right,
really meant a lot. And of course, Sandy and her family are there, and Pat Steele. So it was a nice way to come home. And then we win. It was like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. So it was great.
And that is true. I remember you mentioning that you did film all of it, right, in Las Cruces. That's awesome.
Yeah. Cool. We were in Olmesilla once with in one scene with Hacienda, and then we also went down to La Mesa for Chobis, but we definitely were in the Doñana County the whole time.
Wow. Oh, awesome. Yeah. Very cool. Well, thanks for shooting it there, Las Cruces, supporting the community and being there as well. And I bet Las Cruces was so happy about that.
They were, and Las Cruces film was very helpful and in everything that we did in terms of like finding permits and crew and cast. Yeah. And so Andrew and Eli, shout out to them. They're very kind and very helpful, or they were for us for sure.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Sandy.
I felt like the community really supported us. Nobody gave us any trouble, and we're happy to have us. So it was great.
That's awesome. I'm glad. Well, let's get into you guys' story. So with Rhythm and Roads, we always like to get to know the story of the individual guests, because it's important to know how you started. What was the interest? So what we can go with is Peter. Start with Peter. What interests you to want to pursue film, to be a film director, to do that?
Ooh, it's a long story. I don't know if we have time. No, I come from television. I'm a non-scripted television director. So I did, and I still sometimes do, a lot of shows for Food Network, Beat Bobby Flay and the next Food Network star. And I've also done a long-running show for Sci-Fi called Face Off. It was a special effects makeup show, 14 seasons of that. So I bounced around Hollywood for 30 years and had a great time. yeah, I know I'm aging myself now. But I had a blast and learned a lot. And I've always dabbled in film. I always had the fantasy of, once in a while did a short film here or there. And for me, I've always wanted to do a feature, and it came true, and it all worked out. We'll get into that story, I'm sure. For me, it was really special to finally do a movie because it's something I've always wanted to do. It's such a different, it's a pivot for me coming from television where I have 12, 14 cameras and a crew of 150, and
Wow.
all of a sudden you're making a movie and you're
Yeah.
dealing with one camera and locations and great actors and things like that. So obviously, without the help of Parker and Sandy, none of this would have happened. So it's been amazing to have them as a part of it and making it all come true. So really appreciative.
Wow. Well, thank you, Peter, for sharing that. I do want to ask you, from the transition of the idea to want to do a feature film, what sparked that? Because I know you say you were in television for so long. So was there something of an idea of a film that came to mind, or how did three come to mind where you're like, you know what, I want to do a feature film. Let's go with this one.
Well, three, it's an interesting story how it all came about. We all met through another mutual friend of ours, Chris,
Okay.
and I met Parker the day we decided to try to get to it's all over the place, but to try to narrow it down. Chris and I know it's so far it's a lot, but Chris and I decided over a lot of conversations, let's do a short film, and we can't. I came up with the idea. What if you knew the day you were going to die? Basically, was the basics of it. So we talked about shooting a short film. We wanted to do it, so we were going to do it in Tyler, Texas, and I showed up for lunch one day to scout some locations, and Parker was sitting there eating a meatloaf and mashed potatoes, no less. But I love that. Who has that for lunch? But I love it. I still remember it to my
Sounds
day.
good, actually.
And Parker said to me, it was the greatest thing is Parker says, I don't know anything about this business, but I want to learn.
Yeah.
I said, great. And we went out and scouted some locations. The locations weren't so great, and Parker had ideas, and he says, "Hey, we should do this, and we should try this." I was like, "Wow, this guy's already got it. This is amazing!" Like he was into it, he cared, he had suggestions, and from there that was the scout, and then I came back a month later, and we shot the short.
Wow.
And this film was always intended to be a short film. It was never written as a feature. So a lot of films write, like Whiplash, there's famous stories of films like that who have the feature written out, but they need to raise money, so they do a short version. We just did a short film. We're like, oh, let's go do a short film. We'll have some fun. All of a sudden, it came out great. We're winning awards. We're like, we called the writer up. We're like, Michael, you got to write a feature on this thing. So it was like, oh, okay.
Wow.
And so that's how that came about, really. I mean,
Wow.
there's a longer story in there, but that's the nutshell.
Oh yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that, Peter. Appreciate it. And Parker, did you want to start on your story? Did you want to just how you started to be one of the producers, just in the past as well, starting?
Well, actually, being in a movie or directing a movie or even being associated with a movie is something I've always dreamt of. And actually, our mutual friend Chris and I had started actually doing some writing on a book that we were wanting to make into a series, and that's how it's. And all of a sudden, Chris says, "Would you like to go have lunch with Peter?" And I'm like, "Who's that?" And next thing you know, Peter's coming over to me going, "I don't like these locations Chris has picked out for this short film." And I said, "Well, let me help you out." And so I gave him some ideas, and we used a lot of them. And one thing led to another, and we decided to, like he said, go forth with making the feature-length film. And so
Wow.
Peter, myself, and Sandy kind of formed us our little company, and off we went. And so here we are now, looking to do another one.
Wow, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing,
That's
Sandy.
been great.
Yeah. Would you like to share your story and how you became or started in the film industry as a producer?
Wow. Well, it's pretty quick. Parker and I are not married, but together. We've
Oh,
been
okay.
partners for 8 years.
Oh, nice.
And he met Peter and Parker, and those two were scraping around trying to, figure out how to do some of this stuff and get things done. And I was sort of in the shadow, just like watching them. And then one day I offered to help, and I got more than I could chew, but yeah. So we started working as a team, and I'm very proud of us because, you don't see many businesses that have couples that, survive. Either business breaks or the couples break.
Oh.
And because of the different lines, we all take care of separate things. He and I have not had any issues, and I'm just proud and appreciative of Peter for putting up with us sometimes, because I know we're goofy, but but I mean, in a nutshell, I came on board because they needed somebody and I was here. So it sort of landed in my lap, but it definitely is something that I feel like I've done well, and I've molded myself and adapted to what they need. Because I'm the T crosser, I daughter, come back from behind and say, hey, you forgot this. Most of the time, sometimes I fall short, but I really try to back everybody up.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for Sandy for sharing that. I do want to ask though, like, I guess growing up, getting your 20s, 30s, or just at that point of your life, like for all of us, we have to start young. You've always had an interest in film. Like, did you like, hey, I want to do this? Like, when it was that spark in your life that you're like, I want to be in film. I want to do films.
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
Okay, so when I was in third grade, it's shorter than it sounds. When I was in third grade, my mom put me in a theater camp.
Oh,
so
okay.
like we did plays, and I did plays for till I was in seventh grade, and then I did drama in high school. Dave Edwards, you're from Cruces, right? You know Dave Edwards?
I'm not from Cruces, I'm from El Paso.
You're from El Paso. Okay, never mind. So Dave Edwards was you'll see him. He was a panhandler in the movie, and I pulled him in because he's my high school drama teacher.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So I've always loved the arts, theater, acting.
Okay.
I had a period in my life where raising children, that just really didn't work with wanting to do that and doing that. But they've since gotten perfectly old, so I can go on and do something fun. And so we actually, when we moved back to Tyler 3 years ago, we were in a play.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, Parker and I were, and so I mean, you're asking about film, and I'm talking about theater, but I really feel like it has a lot of commonalities.
Oh yeah, it really does.
And so that's my background, but this is totally fun. I mean, I'm enjoying it. Being on the set was the most amazing thing. But
yeah. Well, thank you, Sandy, for sharing that. Yeah.
I do have to say, seeing when we started filming that, to see the two of them on the set was amazing. The smiles on their faces. I was stressed out trying to figure out how to make a movie, but they were just like, this is amazing. But they were very supportive, and it couldn't have been better. It's just such a great team all around. So it's been great.
That's awesome. What's your story, Peter, real quick on that? Like, same question as what I asked Sandy, but yours is like, at what age did you get that interest to want to be in television?
Oh boy. I was young. My father, my stepfather brought home, he used to work for Willbrook Encyclopedia, and they used to win prizes. And he brought home a little video camera with a box attached and this whole thing. Back when I was in high school, back in the 80s, I said, what's that thing? And I started playing around with it, and that was it. Fell in love.
Wow.
And sitting in a theater is just so magical. Like just sitting back and just seeing how the big images and just feeling the sound and feeling the moment. I tell a lot of people I've done thousands of hours of television, literally. And, you get a text, you get an email. Oh, that was great. That was great. But really, it still gives me chills to sit in a theater with 300 people around you and watching something you created with my team is priceless. It's amazing. It's addicting. It's like a drug. You want more of it. It's
Yeah.
like, where do I get more of this?
Right? No, I feel it.
So,
Yeah. I've been through
yeah.
that. I know how it feels. I'm like, oh, I just want more. Like, can we do another one?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do another one. What are we doing?
What's the next project? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome. Well, let's get into the film three. So I take it you've won quite a bit of awards, and not only at Las Cruces International Film Festival, but other festivals as well. Did you want to go ahead and share about that?
I've got the list if it helps. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, we've got five. So two from Cruces, Audience Choice and Grand Jury.
Right.
Two come carry. We won Best in Show, Best Feature, People's Choice. Three
Wow.
there. And then we just won World Fest, a Gold Remy Award in Houston. I think I got them all right.
I think so.
Yeah.
Well, congrats. Yeah, very. What an achievement. That's awesome.
Not bad.
Yeah, right? Like, wow.
I'm like, we just went out to make a movie. We didn't know we are going to win awards. We're like, what's happening?
Yeah, that definitely builds some confidence. Huh? Like, okay, I guess we're doing good with something here. Let's
Right. Exactly.
That's funny. And where did the story come from on three? Who thought of the story?
That was actually me. I read a short story. I forgot who the author was, but it was about knowing the day you die. It was like a futuristic thing of like, yeah, when you turn 18, you go to an ATM and you actually can type in the numbers and it'll tell you the day you die. And how do you handle that moment?
Oh.
So from there, we just took it to another level and expanded upon it. Of course, our writer, Michael Ward, helped a lot with that. It's kind of like, here's the idea, Michael, what can you do? And he wrote a great 14-minute short version of that, which was really great. And then, of course, tapped him to write the feature later, which he did a great job. So, yeah.
Now, Peter, for those that have not seen the film, you want to share a bit of what the film's about, or anyone wants to share about it?
Do you guys?
Wait, Peter.
Okay. Basically, the movie in a paragraph, it's about an artist teacher played by Caleb Ruminer. We found Caleb; he was amazing. He lost his ability to create art. He lost his father. He loses his job. Suddenly, he finds out from a mysterious stranger played by Eric Roberts.
Okay.
Eric's great. We love Eric. He's going to lose his life in 3 days. This all happens when he meets the person that he's always been looking for.
Mm-hmm.
A lady friend, excuse me, a girlfriend, or he never can find love, and suddenly he finds love, and it's played by Anna Grace Barlow, who's amazing. Basically haunted by the dreams from the past and the fears what's to come, he faces and struggles the inevitability that everyone must eventually face in this world, which is death. And knowing from this mysterious stranger, played by Eric Roberts, he doesn't know how to handle it. It's a lot for him. And he doesn't, a lot of things Eric says come true in the movie. You'll see Eric says, oh, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. And those things start happening. And he's going, wow, this guy must know what he's talking about. And he just told me I'm going to die in 3 days. And then suddenly he meets this wonderful woman. And it's really hard for him to figure out what to do because you don't want to lead her on. He doesn't want to fall. And then suddenly, he passes.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That's basically the nutshell. Yeah,
that's incredible.
It's funny because originally we're editing it and we're talking and rom-com is kind of an easy word for that kind of a film. Yeah. And I was like, well, but it's not. It's a rom-dram, right? A little more drama than comedy. But then we've had like 5 or 6, maybe even more screenings by now. And people are laughing. I'm like, Parker, Sandy, this is a rom-com. So we consider it a rom-com. So yeah, people are, we've gotten a lot of, and certainly Sandy and Parker can attest to this, a lot of great texts from people, emails, just saying how they love it and what the world needs right now, blah, blah, blah. Just things, not all about, killing and craziness and, Mission Impossible and stuff like that. It's a nice rom-com is a feel-good movie and people are wanting that, I feel. So.
No, thank you for sharing that, Peter. I heard too when some the audience walked out, they said they cried. And I mean, as in a good way. I'm like, wow, like, so I guess there's certain parts in it where it's very emotional too.
Yes, that's touching some people as well, which I didn't know that until, I mean, I knew. It's funny when the three of us have been so close to the film for well, I guess a year now,
year?
right? A
Wow.
year, yeah, yeah. Well, the short was a couple years ago, but the film itself. So yeah, you get so tied into it, and you start hearing what other people think of it when they see it for the first time. It's pretty amazing. You're like,
Oh,
really? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Excellent.
they laugh at different spots than I expected them to.
okay.
But they do come out like Peter said, they come out and like I cried, I laughed.
Yeah.
This was so good. And really I've always said, and these guys are probably tired of hearing it, but I love the movie and I love what Michael did because there's so many different facets of real life situations that Ty goes through, and they're all like packed into this one 90-minute film.
Wow.
And everybody's can relate somewhere. I mean, you know, death, mental health, losing your job,
Drug
addicts. Yeah, sorry.
Right. Drug addiction. And,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, life,
There's just-
death,
yeah.
getting fired. I mean, it takes in a whole smorgasbord of different aspects of everybody's life. So I think when you watch it, everybody can watch it, and at some point you relate to it on some level, just because it's either happened to you with life or death, or you know someone that's had struggles with mental health and drug addiction. So it's yeah, it touches on a lot of different things, but at the end of the day, it's a good, you feel good at the end of it. And the fact that people do laugh and cry during the movie means Peter has reached out there and has touched these folks with his magic.
Yeah,
so
magic.
It works well.
I can't take all the credit. There's a lot of people involved. It takes a village, but yeah, it's been great. You know, even I was just thinking as Parker was talking, I've had teachers come up to me and teachers say, "Oh my God, I can relate to that whole part, you know, about him being a teacher and getting fired. I can relate to his father dying of cancer. Like I had someone die. Like they're finding stuff that, you know what I mean? When you're deep into it, you don't expect it, and then there's just these fresh ideas and people are coming at you with these things that are really touching them is amazing. It really is.
Amazing. Well,
And the Christianity part too is a big factor that some people really gravitate towards.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's a what? I'm sorry. Repeat that again.
Oh, sorry, I interrupted you. Christianity
Oh,
is a part that people tend to gravitate towards.
Oh, wow.
It's
Okay.
very simple. It's not intrusive. It's not asking you to join. It's just a real nice little scene. And Michael Pare is in that one.
Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, I'm a believer as well, and I'm big on my faith, and it's just that's awesome that there's a seed in there that's planted of hope
Oh, you're gonna love it.
Yeah.
You are gonna love it then. Really.
Well,
I love it.
It's part of his process. So when he feels like this could really happen to him, the dying part, he goes to the doctor, he goes to the priest. Like he starts reaching and digging a little bit and figuring out like what's going to happen and what could happen and what, you know, what's in the afterlife, things like that. So it's great.
But I think Christians do. I think Christians do pull from that scene a lot. They come out of there just like, wow, this was so amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, because what he says is so poignant. It's just, yeah. I didn't mean to interrupt you again.
Oh, no, you're good. No, I want to hear more on this. This is awesome. No, and I want to say I did almost 4 years ago, and I think this is what I can relate to from the film once I see it, is I lost my mother to cancer, but she was a really strong believer in God, and her faith kept her going. That's what really just kept her going. But the time that she had on earth, she did use her time to give back, to help kids. That she volunteered at churches. She just had a heart to give. And even going through her deep waters of suffering, she found a light that she can use to still give back God's love.
Okay.
You know, and that's why I feel like this film will definitely touch me as well. I'm gonna have a little box of tissues. I'll be like, oh my God, Dad.
Good idea. Good idea.
So I'll make sure I have my box with me when I watch it. But I do want to ask Parker, we'll start with him. What was your most memorable experience on set during the filming of 3?
There's so much.
Or just one that stood out?
So many.
Well, my favorite was I got to spend all day the day we shot the scene with Eric Roberts and Caleb in the bar. That went all day and into the night, and that was fun. I got to hang out with the sound guy, Seth, and he let me wear earphones so I could always, wherever I was, I could hear them when they were about to start acting. I could run back in, or between set changes, you can listen to Eric and Caleb sitting at the bar having a private conversation, and I'm listening in on their conversations, which felt a little intrusive. But apparently that's just the way it is. But no, actually being on set and then being there and being able to take it all in and help when I could. And that was my favorite day of the whole thing, was that. And the very first day was one of my favorite days too, because I didn't know what to expect.
Wow. What a journey, huh? After the first day.
Yeah, it was cool. I had a very, very good time doing it, and I would love to do it again.
I would hope you do it again.
We're gonna do it again.
Yeah,
we are doing it again. There's no hope.
We are doing it again.
And Sandy, what was the same question? Your most memorable experience?
So there were a couple of times when things went awry with our locations. We were supposed to be at a location, and at least we thought so. It was a school, and we got kicked out that morning, so we had to go.
Oh, wow.
We had to flip the script and go to a different school, which thankfully our location manager got that worked out.
Okay.
So the way that everybody like worked together to get that back started and not lose very little time. And then the second one, well, this is all kind of together, that we had another time when we were supposed to go to Ruidoso, and I don't know if you remember, to be on a zip line, but last summer Ruidoso was on fire. You probably heard that.
I remember that. Yeah, I do remember.
Yeah, that's when we were filming. So we were supposed to go. Yeah. We were supposed to go to Ruidoso.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, and so
our last day of filming, actually, I think, or the day.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it's on fire, and Sandy did her thing.
Oh no, I just asked a friend of mine, one of our most favorite people now, because she's amazing, if she could get us up on a mountain, and she knew the president at NMSU, and she made it happen.
Wow.
But I mean, we all made it. She got us up there, but everybody else had to pull together and go up there. Michael had to rewrite the script because we were going to the zip line, not a mountain.
Right.
Right. So he's sitting there over in the corner writing the script and like meeting them up there like in 2 hours had it gone.
What a trip.
Yeah. So my favorite part is watching all of us just get through all of that so gracefully. Right. I mean, yeah, it was awkward a little bit, but I mean, really, at the end of the day, it came out quite well.
That's amazing. I'm so glad. Yeah. Peter, same question.
I agree with everything they've said. I was going to say some of the same things. It's really about just pivoting, having the right team with you and knowing how to move and pivot pretty quickly. And everybody was on board, and it was amazing. It's like, okay, we're not going to zip line the date. We're going to the mountain, and we did it, and we pulled it off. So that is a true testament to the crew we had and the team we had and the actors we had, because they really brought it together. And that's part of production. I mean, I've dealt with that for years. Things happen, okay, what's next? And part of my training in unscripted is, you gotta, let's readjust and rethink. I do want to say one of my cool stories happened early on before we start filming. We were, Anna Grace Barlow is the star of the film, and everybody loves her, of course. And we I had just seen, when I had read the first draft of the film, I had seen her in Jesus Revolution on
Oh,
Netflix during COVID,
okay.
and she was great. I was in love. I was like, this is it. I called them. I'm like, how do we get her? And uh, long story short, we couldn't. She was a offer only. She wouldn't read, and that's my first film. I don't want to not read my lead actress.
Oh,
So but I kept her on all the promotional material. I kept
Yeah.
her on everything. Remember you guys? And
Yeah,
I was
Yes.
I
like,
do.
we're keeping her on everything. I don't care. I love her. Who knows what's going to happen? We had a great casting call. Had a guy out of Dean Frank out of LA sent us a couple hundred parts for the leads. We did it all on Zoom. We did chemistry reads. And I got down to one lead actress that we all liked. And sadly, I forgot her name, but she was amazing. And we go to make a deal with her, and 2 days later, we don't hear anything from her agents. We're like, what's happening? Maybe she doesn't want to. We find out Ryan Murphy, the big producer in Hollywood, called her for something else. Well, of course, she's going to go work with Ryan Murphy. And he's paying her a lot more money, and it's a bigger project. And so they declined our film. And I
oh,
think, if I remember right, you guys, we were days away from shooting. We were about 4 days
Two or
ish,
three, yeah,
2 or 3,
oh,
and it was a
Yeah.
Friday night. I'll never forget. And I was like, okay. And we had a couple of backups. So it's like, okay, a couple of other people.
yeah.
So we start thinking it through. And one of our producers, John, said, I'm just going to call Anna's manager. Let's just give it a try. Right. It's a Friday night. Who knows? And she answered. Her name's Bonnie, lovely lady. And I actually was on the phone, and she was amazing. And she says, you know what? Anna's on her way to Italy. I'll get her a script. Get me the script. I'll get her the script. She'll read it. When she lands, we'll know. So we don't sleep that night because we're like wondering. She's on the plane, and she lands, and they call. She wants to do it. She's in,
Wow.
all in, right? And
That's
I'm like, this is
awesome.
unbelievable, right? This is
Oh
the one I
man.
always wanted. I can't, unbelievable. So then
So cool.
she's like, no problem, we'll make the deal. And we get hooked up with her agents. I said, hey, I got a quick question. She just flew to Italy. When's she coming back? Because we're filming in 4 days. So luckily, she was
Yeah.
only going for a wedding. I thought if she was doing another movie, we're in
Oh,
trouble.
okay,
But
okay.
she was only going for a wedding,
Yeah.
and we actually had to adjust the schedule a little bit to
Mm,
start with
Yeah.
Caleb for the first 2 or 3 days, and
okay.
then
Yeah.
she walked in, and I still get chills to be standing next to her in the bar
Wow.
that day with Eric, and I'm like, I told her, I said, you won't believe this. This is the classic Hollywood story, but
Yeah.
I've always wanted you for this part. I never thought I'd get you.
Man.
You're here, and you know what? She delivered. She was amazing.
Mhm.
She was
She was
always
great.
up for anything. She was a great person to be around. Suggestions, great with other actors,
Wow.
and it shows on film. So unbelievable.
That's
Sorry for
awesome.
the long story, but
Yeah.
No, I loved it. Thank you for sharing, Peter.
no problem.
That's awesome. I mean, a lot of us probably would never have known that, the story of how it all started with her. So thank you for
Yeah.
sharing.
Sure.
I am interested in knowing how long did it take to do the whole from beginning to end on the production on 3?
If we don't include, you guys should correct me. If we don't include the short, because I think the short could be a separate entity.
Yeah.
And raising money, I mean, that takes
Yeah.
time as well. I mean, I feel like we shot it last year. We started shooting it last year about this time, wasn't it? June?
Yeah.
June.
So
It was June 10th.
so it's been, and we finished editing at the end of the year. So I guess with you guys tell me, with raising money, it's about a year. It's been about a year. I
About a
mean,
year? Well,
yeah,
pretty good. Not
give or
bad.
Yeah.
take, I guess. Yeah.
The actual filming of it took 11 days,
Yeah.
and then you did all the post production. So
Yeah.
Okay.
went fairly quick, I think,
Did
in
it?
terms of making a movie.
Yeah. Once we started production.
Yeah.
It's kind of amazing making a movie. All the work to prepare it, you shoot it really quick, and then you
Right.
spend all this time editing it and trying to sell it. I'm like, making the movie was the easy part.
Right.
Really true.
Yeah.
All this other stuff. Anyway, it's been great. It's been amazing.
And
So,
isn't it like you probably can relate to this, but it's like you look forward to it, right? Just like a vacation or a big trip, but especially a movie, and then all of a sudden you start it. Then at the end of everything, you look back, you're like, wait, it's over? Like,
Yeah, no.
we were
Oh,
looking forward to
easy.
this for months, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden it's done. You're just like, you feel that kind of like a void of like sadness a little bit. Like, dang.
Well, you miss all the people that you've
Or that,
met over the
Yeah.
last over that month or weeks, and you become very close with them, and all of a sudden it's over. It's like, well, damn, where'd everybody go?
Yeah.
All my buddies are gone. I like hanging out
Yeah.
with the group guys and stuff. So, and yeah, it's kind of bittersweet. It's great, but it's kind of sad when it stops.
Right. No, I agree.
It's interesting. It's interesting to hear, Parker, because that was kind of their first. I've done many, many shows and other smaller productions, and it's always like that. You get so close. You're working together 12, 14 hours a day. You're talking to each other the whole time. You're so entranced with everybody.
Yeah.
And then it ends. And you're like, wait, where is everybody?
Yeah.
But a lot of people you stay in touch with. We stay in touch with most of the crew, I think.
That's good. Yeah. I do want to ask what's next for 3. So, like, are you continuing more festivals? I mean, what's the journey now?
Peter?
I've got, so we have a few more festivals coming up. We're waiting to hear from Waco, Albuquerque, El Paso, Buffalo, where I'm from, Newport Beach, and Santa Fe. So we have a few more festivals we're waiting to hear from. We're also doing screenings here and there. We've actually been lucky to get a couple calls after some of our wins with people who want to show our film on a limited run. Got a call from
Congrats on
a
that.
theater. Thank you. A theater in Washington, D.C. They want to do a short run. So we're starting to get, Nora, which won the Academy Award this year, right? That's an independent film. So that helped catapult independent films back into the forefront a little bit. So we're trying to, even Sean Baker, the director of that film, he said it on stage. It's like, let's get independent films back in the theater. So we're like, yes, we have an independent film. Let's get in the theater. So it's a little challenging. Theater owners, obviously want to have Tom Cruise and make the money and blah, blah, blah. But there are a lot of theaters who are very independent film friendly. Even if they're a big chain with 8, 10 theaters, they devote 1 or 2 theaters to independent films. So we're starting to tap into that a little bit. I just had a theater call me from New York City as well. So limited runs, 3-4 day runs, but it's nice. I like being, listen, as the filmmaker, I want to be on a theater as long as I possibly can. So eventually I know I'm going to be on a small TV, but if I can embrace it, enjoy it, I love that. So.
That's awesome. Well, I hope it gets accepted to all the festivals that you mentioned, but of course El Paso because I'm here. So that'd be cool to see you guys again.
Great.
Yeah. I've actually been to the El Paso Film Festival. It's pretty cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Maybe you can put a good word in for us.
Well, I don't know them, but I've only went once, but my brother submitted his film and he did pretty well with it. So it's cool.
Oh,
good. We're hoping I think we had some crew from El Paso. I know we flew in there.
All the grip guys are from El Paso.
Right.
Awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, also want to give a shout out to Lester G. Reynolds. I know he's a friend of mine. Such a positive light and great, just inspiring.
It really is.
Love Lester.
What was
he is a social media machine. I was like, called Parker and Sandy. I'm like, who's Lester? What's happening? He's posting. But then I was like, this is great. He was amazing. He's been a real big supporter, and he always reposts everything we post. And he's happy to see it keep going. So he's great.
Awesome. Well, I do want to say thank you guys for coming on Rhythm and Roads and sharing your story. Anything in the future of a next project you already have in the works? Is there another film already planned up, or?
We're already, go ahead, Sandy.
Yeah.
Oh no, we had. Do you want to go?
Sure.
Okay.
May I?
Yes, you may.
No, we have the other film is we got in the hopper, so to speak, is a true story about a lady who dresses up as a man, as a cowboy, and robs banks in the 90s.
Oh wow!
And I live here in Tyler, Texas, and in the early 2000s, she had robbed banks in Dallas and area for several years, and she finally got caught. They put her in jail. She was in jail for like 3 or 4 years. She got out of jail, spent a decade not doing anything, as being a normal law-abiding citizen, and one day she wakes up and drives over to Tyler, Texas, and robs another bank. And yeah, so this time they chase her down the road, and at the end of the day, she gets surrounded by the cops. And it's kind of a sad story, but it's kind of an interesting story at the same time, because she fooled the FBI for a while, dressing up as a man. They were always looking for a woman, and
Wow.
I think it'll make a really cool story.
That is a cool story.
It's also a touching story. You know, she was really the rumor is she was doing it for her mother, supporting her mother who had cancer or was dying, I think.
They had Alzheimer's, I believe.
As well, yeah. So there's some touching parts to this that really we like. So we're excited about it.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Thanks for sharing that little exclusive behind the scenes on the story.
Yeah.
Go
Uh,
ahead, Sandy.
I was going to say, you can see the short film, the version, right, Peter?
Yeah.
On our
The short's on the website. How do you say the website, Sandy? Go ahead.
Tiburon Film. No. TiburonFilm.com.
Okay.
But it's under projects.
Okay.
And then just go to Billy, and it's 15 minutes. It's the one of the two shorts that they filmed 3 years ago.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. We filmed two that weekend.
Yeah, so we did. Yeah, 3 was one of the 2 shorts we shot in a weekend. And by the way, we shot them both on my iPhone, and they look great.
On your iPhone?
It's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, we did it on this iPhone.
No way.
It's crazy. Yeah. I was a little skeptical, but it looked really good. I was happy with it.
Wow, that's so cool. So for the film 3, you shot it with an iPhone.
No, the whole film we did it with Arri Alexa for the film.
Oh, I
for
see.
The short film we did on an iPhone.
Okay.
Yeah. Which was just challenging. It was cool. It was, I thought it looked good. It's a little more challenging in terms of lenses and, adapting some of the hardware, but it was definitely easier to move, definitely moved quicker. We brought in this DP, and he looked at me like, what are we doing? But he pulled it together. It looked good. It was fun.
That's awesome.
It was great. Yeah.
Well, for the viewers to want to see the film 3 in the future, or just to be in contact, how can they find you on social media?
So you can find us 4 different places, maybe 5. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube.
Okay.
And there's some kind of reels.
Oh yeah.
Reels.
Yeah. And it's 3 of the film for everything.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, you guys? Yeah. 3 of the film.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes, I believe so.
3 of the film. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
We have a great team putting that together. We're trying to keep up with them. These young kids these days are like, yeah, we got to handle it. We're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I told the guys, I was like, I'm not smart enough for all this social media, and so we found somebody that's much younger than all of us that is doing a really good job on keeping everything up to date.
Oh, good. So more like an influencer, someone who knows how to go about and sharing all that.
Her name is Regina Barnett, but yeah, she lives in Cruces.
Oh, nice.
I'll say if you go to the website, will send you everywhere, you to everything. The website's safe. 3themovie spelled out.com. So the number 3 THEMOVIE.com. 3themovie.
All right.
That'll take you everywhere. That's our one-stop shop.
All right.
I think the other one still works too. But anyways.
I think they both work, but that'll be easier.
Awesome. Well, I look forward to hopefully seeing you guys in the future at the El Paso Film Fest. And
I can't wait.
Such a pleasure to.
We'll be there.
Wait, was that?
That's one thing about us is we try real hard to make it to every festival that we can.
Yeah.
Even when it almost breaks our backs.
We,
It's just so much.
one of us has been at every festival. We even had a conflict with, I think, Tifkin Carey was one Friday night, and then Houston was Saturday, and it was like, oh my God. But it all worked out.
All right. Well, I just want to say thank you, Peter, Parker, and Sandy, for coming on Rhythm and Roads, sharing the journey of 3. I really appreciate you guys' time. Yeah, and it means a lot to me that you came on, giving me your time to share your story. So thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing 3. I'm definitely going to see it tonight. I tried to watch it
you'll
last
love
night,
it.
but
Yeah.
of course there's
Well,
some.
why don't you watch?
Give us a
Well, why don't you watch 3 and we'll reschedule this for a week from today. We'll redo this all over again.
Oh my God!
I'm kidding.
Ask you what you thought of it.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll be up for a follow up, a little quick one.
Maybe, yeah, we're game.
Always interested.
Sorry?
I'm always interested how people, once they watch it, I mean,
Yeah.
I've not really gotten I've gotten no negative feedback. So I'm like, always interested in what people have to say about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, let's plan
sure.
that then. Let's plan for next weekend in the morning because I most likely have to work. But yeah, we could try to do like 10 in the morning your time.
Oh, great. I was kidding, but yeah, let's do it again. I love it.
That would be great. I would look forward to seeing it tonight. And thank you so much, guys, for coming on Rhythm and Roads.
Thank you.
And I look forward to seeing your future projects as well. So
that'd be great.
Thank you, Joshua. This is great.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for your time.
Joshua is awesome.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Thank you, guys.
Josh.
Try to be the best man you can be. But hey, make a right instead of a left once in a while. Don't be afraid to take risks. Help as many people as you can and hurt as few as possible.
Thanks, Father.
Don't be a stranger.
Okay.
Next time, wear pants, okay?
Yeah.
I'm only kidding.
You did?
Brush your feet.
Yeah, you can. You let me in? If we can find a way to get there, maybe we'll find a way back home. And if we get lost amongst the wreckage, well, at least we're not alone. And all of the bumps along the journey will get softened by badass. You should be teaching badassery classes. I was fucking pissed off. There, maybe we'll find a way back home. If we get lost amongst the wreckage, well, at least we're not
Take one, soft sticks, aim up.